Time with Billionaire Nee.
Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for joining me today. I'm very excited to be here today, and this is very special for me. And I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, talking about goal setting. And, I'd always heard about setting goals. And of course, at one point, I started setting goals. In other words, I started doing the whole New Year's Eve resolution thing where a new year comes up and then you write a bunch of stuff that you want to accomplish. I've done that. And sometimes even in the course of the year, I have things that I want to do and I write them down. So I started doing that, but it was not effective. Okay. But at one point, I chanced on setting goals properly. And once I did that, it revolutionized my life and how I did my stuff. So I thought, why not share this? But I held back for a long time. But this year I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take my time and break it down, because just like most people, I myself have had encounters with setting goals. A lot of people look at it as, oh, it's one of those things you write some stuff down and then you just keep it pushing. And there are people who get so busy that they're not, they feel like, oh, I don't need to set a bunch of goals and all of that. I already have a lot on my plate. But the key is that with goals, it will help bring some type of structure and clarity to your life. And when you set goals properly, with the process that I'm about to take you through, I'm going to take my time and run through that process. You just have to have patience and then stay with me. And I'm telling you, this is going to change your life. And once you get it, you have to do it just once. I'm going to run you through the structure and going through this process. And you just do it once. Once you do it once, the next time it becomes so easy for you to run through it. Because what we're going to do is that we're going to work our way all the way from the future all the way to the present. So before you set a yearly goal, you have to have known where you're going. You have to know that you're coming from somewhere or you're heading somewhere in that respect. So you start and work your way backwards. And that's what we're going to do. And that's what makes this goal setting experience very special, a workshop very special, because it's not your typical 1 year setting of goals, because the average person, sometimes we're overwhelmed with a lot of things that we want to already do. So if I'm going to set some goals in 1 year, the likelihood of really going about and achieving them and all of that is not really encouraging, but when you look at the big picture, then you narrow it down to the small picture, it makes it a lot easier.
Time with Billionaire Nee.
Setting. And this is very intensive. So if you're thinking of, scrolling away, please don't. Just stay with me. And I'm telling you, this is going to be very beneficial to you. Now, so setting goals is like crafting a map for your life. Martin Luther King calls it your life's blueprint. So literally, you're mapping out what your life will look like or could look like at a future stage. It hasn't happened. So that gives you a lot of leverage and control over that. Wouldn't you want to go into a life where you know where you're going and you have a plan to actually fulfill that? Now, why do goals matter? A lot of people wonder, why do I need goals? Clarity. It helps you to know exactly what you're working towards. Very important. Today, tomorrow, the future, the next 5 years, 10 years, it helps you to know that my life is actually headed in a certain direction. I'm telling you, a lot of people have not for once sat down to find out what does their life look like in the future. What kind of life do they want to see themselves living? A lot of people have not taken the time to do that. And for me, for a long time, I never did that until I had an encounter, I say, with some of my mentors that made me realize that I cannot just go about living my life without having an ultimate goal. Like, what is it that I really want to see for myself? It serves as a motivation. It fuels your journey, because life has so many things, so many ups and downs, a lot of things we encounter, a lot of waves. Consider your life as setting sail. So you're like a ship that is set sail. So you've set sail. There's a number of things that you have to understand when it comes to setting sail, which I'm going to deal with. So when you have a plan, when you have something that you're following, like a map that you're following, it motivates you to know that, okay, after all that is happening, I'm headed somewhere. When I fall, I know that that's not the end, because that's not the end goal. The end goal is way ahead, and that's where we're headed. As long as we're on course, we can always restructure and move forward. So it also helps you to be able to measure where you are. because you cannot just be wondering and not know that, okay, I'm making some progress or I'm not making progress. And every year comes and every year goes by, but you cannot tell if you're actually making progress or not, because you do not have anything to measure that by. So a new year comes and just walk right into it. Another year comes, walk right into it. But I want that to stop. You have to get to a point where you say, this is the end. And I got to a point where I said, this is it for me. I want to do something different. Is that if you keep doing what you're doing, you keep getting what you're getting. You can do one thing and expect different results all the time. So maybe this is your year. Maybe this is the year you have to refocus. Like I had to challenge myself and said, no, I cannot keep doing the same thing over and over again. Like there has to be an end to it. So I said, I'm going to challenge myself and see what these millions of people have tried to focus, to have tried to have a plan, have tried to map out something to follow, and it's worked for them brilliantly. I'm going to try that and see how it works. And I'm telling you, it works magic. And that's what I want to share with you today. So this is really from the bottom of my heart. You know, it helps you to be able to celebrate, because a lot of people don't find reasons to celebrate, unless it's some type of festive, Easter, Christmas or something. But you have to have wins in your life. And you can have wins when you have something to measure that by. That, okay, I decided that I wanted to do this, and I worked my way towards it, and now I have it. So I have a reason to celebrate. That's what you want to do. And that's why it's important for us to set goals. Now, there's a principle about writing down your goals. Okay, let me put this here, writing down your goals. A lot of people think about things that they want to do, and that's the whole idea of New Year resolutions and all of that. They think about it, and every stage of their life, they think about what they want to do, maybe in the month, or in the week, or even in the day. You know, that, oh, I want to do this, but it's all in their minds. But you see, research has shown that a goal written down is about 42% already accomplished. And those days, I used to set goals. I used to write things down that I wanted to do. And somehow I'm able to get some, I don't get some. And it was so at least I was making a 42%, but I didn't really understand. But once I understood that, oh, just writing down your goal gives you the ability to fulfill those goals by 42%. That was great, because when you put it down, it transforms your goal from a wish into some type of commitment. And that is the whole thing. You see, you don't have to understand the science of everything, but if something works, I will give it a trial. Unless, of course, you're extremely happy with how your life is flowing and every results that you have in your life, and you don't want more. But if you do want more, and there's a principle that have been applied that works, I will try that. And if they tell you that research has shown that if you write down your goal alone, just writing it down alone makes a lot of difference helping you achieve this. Now, I heard about this one science to it as well. There's a part of your brain that is right at the tail end of your brain over here. And I hear it's for signals. Let me get a name. It's called the reticular activating system. And it's a part of your brain that sends a lot of signals. And every time that you actually write your goal down, what it does is that it reviews it filters the information that comes to your brain and determines which ones are more important. And the way it does that is by the things that you write down. So as you write down your goal, it sends some signal, it filters all the information coming to your brain and says that this one is very important. So you need to put it on high priority. So it begins to put you in places where you can encounter certain opportunities just by writing it down, because it signals to your brain that this is very important. So when you encounter somebody, you encounter something, you hear something that comes your way, because that signal is very strong, because you just put it down, it allows you to be able to identify and catch these opportunities. And that's how certain people, just by writing goals down, even if they don't look at the big picture, they still get some results, even if they don't follow or they don't have a plan. So the key is to begin at the beginning, which is put it down. So I just want to give you some ideas around that. Put it down. Now, I was saying, look at your life as a ship. Today, we're going to do a lot of deep thinking. So you stay with me. Do a lot of deep thinking. We're going to think through this. So I want you, if you have to pause the video and do the exercise, you're going to do this. This is not going to be just like your normal, goal setting thing where we're going to talk, and then I leave you to go, and then I say, go and write this down. All we're going to do this, go and write a bunch of stuff down. No, I'm going to walk you through the process. Okay, I'll walk you through the process. Very important. So look at your life like a ship that is setting sail. So you set sail from Ghana, for instance. Your aim or your desire is actually to make it to England or to Japan. Let me use Japan, a country I love. Japan. Now, imagine you didn't have a destination. We put a ship on water and then just allow it to move. No destination in mind. That's the first error. The average person do not sit down. And when I say the average person, it could be anybody. We are not able to sit down at any point in time in our life. Don't worry about the 1 year goal. No, this is beyond 1 year. We're not able to sit down at one point of our life when we become adults and say that, okay, this is my life. I'm like a ship that is about to set sail. Where do I want to end up? Where do I want to sail to? So if I want to head to Japan, it is very crucial that I understand that, okay, Japan is the place that I want to head to. So I have a destination. Very critical. So if you've never sat down to evaluate your life and realize that there's a destination that I want to get to, that is the first error. So you're going through life every day, but you don't have an ultimate destination. Remember, your way to your ultimate destination, there's a lot of things that you can hit. There's a lot of places you can encounter. On your way from Ghana to Japan, there's a lot of places that you can actually hit before you get to Japan. If you've ever done a cruise, the cruise in having an ultimate destination can stop at different places along the way. You can get off, you can do some stuff, and then head back to your destination. The key is for you to understand that this is the ultimate place that I want my life to get to. And that's what we're going to start doing right now. We're going to sit down, and we're going to think that if I look at my life on this planet Earth, what exactly, and here's what I tell people, do not be afraid to dream, because that's why your brains are there. That's why your heart is there. Do not be afraid to dream. Do not sell yourself short. It doesn't matter where you're starting from. Whether you're starting from 0, from 50, from 100, it does not matter. The point is that you have to be able to believe that it is possible. And that's why mindset is very important. You have to be able to believe it is possible, first of all. And now once you believe it is possible and you set a destination, now we're going to figure out how we're going to get to the destination. So now we have a destination. The ship now has to figure out, I need a plan to be able to make it to the destination. So it's not enough to know where I want to get to. There has to be plans. And that's where the subsequent goals that you're going to be setting comes in. That we're going to devise and map out strategies. That, okay, who do I need to talk to? What do I need to have? What resource do I need to have? What do I need to do to be able to arrive at that destination? What equipments do I need? What machinery? Do I need a map? Do I need a telescope? What do I need to be able to help me to move towards that destination? And it is very critical that you sit down and go through this process at least once in your lifetime. Trust me, once in your lifetime. And the earlier you do that, the better. Because you see, if you're going to wait until later part of your life, you're 40, you're 50, and now you're about to figure out what is the destination that I would have loved to go to. And you could have begun the process gradually towards there. There's no rush. The goal is to know where you're going and then have a plan towards that, so that every day when you wake up, it becomes very crucial because you know that there's somewhere that I'm going. So the New Year resolution, supposedly, that you're about to set, or the year's goal that you're about to set, ties into a big picture because you have an ultimate destination, which is Japan. So I'm about to set a year's goal. The year's goal is going to take me all the way maybe to Europe, but that's not my final destination. But at least on my way to Europe, there's some stuff that I need to do there. I have to get there before I hit my final destination. So you're going to plan as you go. You get to Nigeria, you get to that, you get to that, you get to that. And then gradually you're going to make it to the ultimate place that you want to get to. So as you go, every year's goal that you're setting, it ties back into something. And you have something that you're working towards. And you have a plan that you're going to use to do that. And that's what we're going to share today. So it is very important. The first exercise I want you to do right now. So I hope you have your book. You have your book. If you don't have your book, pause the video, go get a book that you're going to be writing. I have my book. When I did my workshop this year, I have my book. I have my book right here. So you make sure you get your book and get your pen. You're going to do a lot of writing. So stay with me. Get some water and sit down and stay with me. I sat down with my team and we went through this process for a whole day. because we wanted to get it right. And when you get it right, it makes your life a lot easier. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. Trust me, it's a game changer. You're going to walk more purposefully. You thought you were scattered before. It's going to get you to be organized. It's going to help you to say some no's where you have to say no's. Are you with me? So the first exercise you're going to do is you imagine your life. I call it the 80-year toast, the 80th birthday toast. And when I chanced on this, I thought it was a game changer. Your 80th birthday toast. And you're not the one making a toast. You're sitting. Now, somebody's about to make a toast on your 80th birthday. The question is, what would you want them to say? There are a few questions that I'm going to ask you. To someone who knows you deeply, they're about to make a toast about your life at 80 years. That, whoa, Mr. Quay, it's 80 years and it's his birthday. I'm making a toast for Mr. Quay. What would I want them to say? There are 3 questions that I want you to answer. You feel free and write as much as you want. Do not hesitate. Man, I wrote a lot. Because here's the key. You're not there yet. But this is you envisioning what you will want. Because if you understand that, then it helps you to eventually narrow down that, whoa, this is really what I will enjoy. Are you with me? Stay with me. So the first question that I want you to ask, that I'm going to ask you, I want you to ask yourself, what do you hope they say? This is free flow writing. Do not be limited. You see, there's power in writing. A lot of people fear to write. And I tell people, if you cannot write, just speak and then transcribe. So speak what you want to say and then let it be transcribed. Even if it's not English, you want to speak Chi, whatever language, Ga, Chinese, speak it and let them transcribe it for you. It's very important. It's very important. So feel free and write. What would you want them to say? They're about to toast to your life and your legacy. Whoa, this guy has lived 80 years. It's his birthday. What would you want them to say? Do not limit yourself. Do not be afraid to dream. That's the first thing. What do you want them to say, or what do you hope that they say? Let me give you a peek of what I have. Now, you have to put it in the present tense. So one of the things I hope that they say, I'm not going to tell you a lot, but I'm going to give you an idea so you have a framework to work with. So at 80 years, if they're making a toast on my birthday, what I hope that they'll say is that he was one of the greatest motivational teachers of all time. That Mr. Quay was one of the, not was, Mr. Quay, because I'm alive, Mr. Quay is one of the greatest motivational speakers of all time. That's one of the things I want him to say. That Mr. Quay delivered training in over 500 countries across 6 continents. That's what I want him to say. So look at your life in every sphere. Take your time that you want them to remember you for. And then make that toast right now. It's like you're writing your own obituary right now. You're writing your own life's blueprint right now. 80 years, what would you want them to say? And for some people, you've already lived half of that already. But you have an opportunity to re-look at your life. Because maybe throughout the first half, you've just been going. But now you have a chance to look at what is it that you hope that they say at your 80th birthday when they're making that toast. That's the first question. I want you to take your time and then do that. You can pause the video and then do that. The second thing is that, what did you contribute? What did you contribute? That's the second question that you will hope that they say. What did you contribute? What did you contribute? What did you contribute? What did you contribute? So think about it in that light. What did you contribute? What would you hope they say? What did you contribute? Maybe in your lifetime you built an orphanage. Maybe in your lifetime you sponsored 1,000 kids. Maybe in your lifetime you were the first person to bring so and so to Ghana. Maybe in your lifetime you were the first person to take something out of China to another country. Maybe in your lifetime you were the first. Like, what did you contribute? What was your contribution to life? What was your contribution? You came through this planet. How did the planet feel you? What did you contribute? So 80th birthday, what did you contribute? You're not there yet, but that is what you hope that they will say you contributed. that at 80 years old, this is what I contributed. I was able to build a cathedral. I was able to build this. I was able to do that for society. I was able to motivate all the people that came after me. I was able to set my children up with huge investments so they don't have to struggle. What did you contribute? What did you contribute? What did you contribute? What did you contribute? Who did you become? Think along those lines. Who did you become? Who did you become? Who did you become? 80 years. Think carefully. 80 years. 80 years. What would you hope that they say you contributed? What would you hope that will say, this guy became this guy became that, this guy did that, this guy accomplished that, this guy served humbly, this guy built home of motivation, this guy did. What is it that you contributed? That in his field, he was able to train thousands of people. What did you contribute? That he was a person that brought hope to his village. He was the first person that brought clean water to his community. What did you contribute? 80 years. If they're making a toast, what would you hope that they say about you? So what you're trying to do is to set a tone for where your life wants to get to. And now we're going to narrow it down. But you have to understand that this is how you want to be remembered, legacy. So every day when you wake up, you know that you're actually working towards something. You know that the goal that I'm about to set this year, the goal that I'm about to write down, is actually tying into something bigger. And here's the thing. Sometimes we realize that we have so many years to live. We look at the years as so many, but once you begin to break it down, begin to understand that, hey, I don't actually really have enough time. When you sit down, you really take your time and write this down and work through it. You begin to realize that if I really want to do this thing, which is something that I really love, because I'm not under any pressure or anything like that. I don't have to show it to anybody, just myself. But this is what genuinely, if nothing was a problem and I could do anything that I could do, this is how I want to be remembered. This is what I want to have contributed by the time I'm 80 years. It helps you to understand that I have something to work towards. So therefore, I cannot waste time. I cannot just wander about. I cannot just set sail without just knowing what exactly I'm doing, without having a plan for where I'm going. Very critical. Very critical. Now, we're going to break it down. We're going to break it down. We're going to break it down.
Time with Billionaire Nee.
So there are steps that we're going to follow. The first thing I want to talk about is you need to identify the destination, which I mentioned. What's the ultimate outcome? Now, don't look at 1 year. What's the outcome of 1 year? No. Or 2 years or 5 years. No. We're going to get there. But look at your ultimate life. When you die and they're going to bury you, what do you want the outcome of your life to have been? What do you want them to say that this is what this guy, that's the ultimate. So you need to have an ultimate destination. So once we have the ultimate destination, then now we have something to work towards. And remember, things can always change. You can always go back and then edit your ultimate destination. Because tomorrow you could change your mind and say, man, I don't feel like I want to end up in Japan anymore. I want to end up in China. But now you have a process that you know how to follow. So if you know that if I want to end up in China, this is what I need to do. I now need to work my way backwards. If my destination was Japan and it's no longer Japan, it's in America, it's in another direction. So now I need to alter my steps a little bit. I need to now change the things that I'm learning. The people that I'm dealing with, I need to alter that. If I'm dealing with accountants and the place I'm going is lawyers, I need to alter the people that I'm dealing with. I need to start dealing with new people. So once you have the ultimate destination, it helps you to narrow down to the now, to the present day moment, who you should be dealing with, where you should be going, things you shouldn't be wasting your time on. It helps you to figure that out. And don't look at it as it's so far away, because it's not. Like it's really not. I'm telling you, it's really not. And that's why you want to take this very seriously. Now, you map the milestones. What are the key checkpoints along the way that I'm going to encounter? What are the key checkpoints? We narrow down to that. Now we're going to define the daily actions, the actions that we have to take in order to help us arrive day in, day out, monthly, weekly, yearly, quarterly, all of that until we get to that final destination that we want to get to. There's a magic formula that I want to look at right now. I want you to write that. It's a magic formula. Call it a magic formula. 1, you have the big goal. Then from the big goal, we have quarterly milestones. Then after quarterly milestones, we have monthly goals.
Time with Billionaire Nee.
Weekly actions. Then we move to daily habits. So here's the magic formula. So you have a big goals, quarterly milestones, monthly goals, weekly actions, and daily habits. And that's how we're going to work our way downwards. That's how we're going to work our way downwards. We're not getting into the meat of the work. Are you with me? So there's what I call the 3 horizons that we're going to work around. We're going to look at a long-term vision. We're going to look at the annual goals. Then we move to quarterly objectives. And then we're going to look at our monthly goals. And then the weekly and the dailies will follow. So that's the process that I'm going to run you through.